Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown, a Sports Ethos presentation. And today we are presented to you by FanDuel. If you're not aware, we are the Box Score Breakdown where we break down the games of the night. Tonight we had a 12-game slate for Wednesday. Huge night of basketball. But even more important than that, I got to just jump straight into it. If you have not heard the news of the day, Trae Young from the Hawks was traded to the Wizards for Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. You heard me right. There's no more to it. That's it. That's the trade. Insanity. Everyone's talking about the new salary cap, that it had to force teams into doing things like this where they're thinking about future money, creating space. I don't care about any of that. This is a horrible trade for the Hawks. I remember the Knicks had used to do trades like this all the time. They would get rid of good guys to create salary cap space and expect to get a big name free agent the next year. It never happened for years. So it was just years of wasting away talent. The Hawks better hope they can get someone because they're going to clear about $40 million in cap space. But guess what? If they don't get a big name free agent, they have to spend that money anyway. And then you have no Trae Young and you just have more scrubs on your team. So that is the news of the day. Y'all let me know how you feel about that trade. I think it was horrible. I think the Hawks panicked, rushed. It's not even a trade deadline. I mean, it's impossible that they could not get more than this. But so sorry for all you Hawks fans out there. You have a future to look forward to because you're going to have a great draft pick from the Pelicans. You're going to have cap space. So there is hope, but it's no way that should have been your return for Trae Young. But all right, I just had to break that down before we get into this 12-game slate. I'm your host at William is Bill, William Harris, and you're listening to the Box Score Breakdown once again. So let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. 12-game recap. And I want to hear your comments. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are recording live. We're on X. We're on YouTube. Check out Sports Ethos. All that good stuff. So let's talk with the first game. The Raptors defeated the Charlotte Hornets 97-96. The Raptors won this one on a buzzer beater by Emmanuel Quickley. And right before that, LaMelo hit the go-ahead layup with 1 point something seconds left. So it was a dramatic finish, fun game. So let's get straight to it. Scotty Barnes had 17 points, 4 boards, 1 steal, 1 block. He can do much better than that. It was just an average game, but they won, so it's not a big deal. The big news is Colin Murray-Boyles. He started. Last game, he had an incredible performance, and a lot of people were rushing to the waivers to add him. He's actually the number 1 added player right now, and he did what you're looking for. He had only 4 points, but he had 15 rebounds. He made both of his free throws. He had a steal, had 3 assists. So this is not a failure at all, especially if you need it in rebounds. Great job. He got the minutes. He just didn't put up points and blocks. But Scotty Barnes didn't have a great game either. So you can just chalk this up to kind of a weird game. And Emmanuel Quickley, like I mentioned, hit the game winner, had 21 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal. RJ Barrett was the leading scorer with 28 points, 7 boards, and 1 steal. I guess the news of the day for the Raptors is Brandon Ingram got injured, only played 11 minutes, and they still won. But 6 points, 2 assists. I don't remember exactly the injury. I can pull it up for you super quick. Let's see. Brandon Ingram, he was ruled out with a sprained right thumb. So that is not going to be too big of an injury. He may miss 2 games or so. But that'll allow Colin Murray-Boyles to probably get another 2 or 3 starts. So even if Jakob Poeltl comes back, if Brandon Ingram's out of the lineup, Colin Murray-Boyles can get more minutes. So don't panic on him. And like I said, 15 rebounds is great. Sandro Mamukelashvili with 10 points and a steal off the bench. Everyone else was just there. And I saw Ochai Agbaji, he played 12 minutes. He is in trade rumors. The Raptors are willing to trade him for a second-round pick. We'll see what happens. I know you guys are excited about this trade deadline, man. And just the trades that are coming up in the upcoming days. It's going to make the NBA very exciting for this time. And for the Hornets, who they defeated, Miles Bridges, 12 points, 3 boards, 5 assists, and a block. Solid. Musa Diabate, 6 and 11, 2 steals and 2 blocks. He started again, which moved PJ Hall to the bench. But LaMelo, 15 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, and 1 steal in 25 minutes. I saw a report that said it looks like the Hornets are trying to reduce LaMelo's minutes to either prepare for him to be traded or to just devalue him so they can re-sign him for less money, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird situation. LaMelo hasn't been playing great, but he also hasn't been playing a ton of minutes, so it's weird. Keep an eye out on that. But if the return for trade was what it was, I think the Hornets might want to hold on to LaMelo Ball. Son James started 8 points, 3 assists. He's in there for defensive purposes. Nipple had a rough one today. 11 points, 4 for 17 from the field, 3 for 11 from three-point land. He did have 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block, but it was a rough night all around. The only player that really balled out was Colin Sexton off the bench, 22 points and 2 rebounds. I mean, it's questionable whether he should be starting. I know you want Zion in there for the threes and the defense, but we'll see. But PJ Hall, like I mentioned, 8 points, 7 boards, and a block in 15 minutes. That is great production. Of course, Kalkbrenner is still out. As we see, Musa came back, and that cut PJ's minutes tremendously. So when Kalkbrenner comes back, PJ Hall probably will be out of the rotation, but he's performed admirably thus far. No one else really worth mentioning. Tajon Salon was playing very well, but he's came back down to earth. Next game, the Pistons defeated the Bulls 108-93. Matas Buzelis and Vucevic both had 20 points each. Vucevic had 16 boards and a block. Buzelis had 3 boards and 4 blocks with 1 steal. So Vuce got the rebounds, Buzelis got the blocks. Put it together, they still lost. But because they're the only two that really did anything that started. Off the bench, Ayo Dosunmu had 24 points and a block, so that was great. But Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, Isaac Okoro, they combined for 16 points. It was rough for the starter. Patrick Williams, only 6 points and 4 boards, and he continues to struggle. Just not much going on there. For the Pistons, who won, let's start. Duncan Robinson had 12 points and a block. Paul Reed, 9, 6, and 6 with a steal. Isaiah Stewart went the H off. 31 points, 3 boards, 2 blocks, and a steal. And, you know, when Jalen Duren is out, you normally see a random spike game from Isaiah Stewart. And that's when everyone rushes to get him. And then the next game, he'll have like 7 points and 6 rebounds. So you can't really... It's not like a backup running back where it's like your running back got hurt, get the replacement, and he puts up great numbers too. Isaiah Stewart is very hit or miss. Tonight he went 14 for 17. Do not count on another game like this probably all season from Isaiah Stewart. This is an incredible game. Lacking in the rebounds, but he got the 2 blocks and 31 points. You're not going to see that too often. Jaden Ivey was in the starting lineup, had 8 points, 4 assists because Cade Cunningham was out. So Jaden Ivey's been doing stuff like this with Cade in. They're trying to get him more minutes. He could be losing a couple minutes, and it's just not been working. So he really got his opportunity tonight with Cade out. He's starting, but only played 20 minutes and was not very game-changing, let's say that. So, you know, they put in Dennis Jenkins and Marcus Sasser. They didn't do anything either. But this was Jaden Ivey's chance to step it up, and it's just not working. I think he should be moved because I think he would do much better on a different team. But we'll see. Ausar Thompson, 11 points, 8 boards, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. That's what we love to see from All-Star, mainly those steals and blocks. Ron Holland had 11 and 5 with the block. Javonte Green 11 with 4 steals. And those are streamers at this point, but 4 steals is crazy. And no one else really was productive. But Cade is still out with that right wrist injury. Don't expect him about too long, I wouldn't think. Next game, the Sixers defeated the Wizards 131-110 for Washington, who made the news of the day by acquiring Trae Young. They started Alex Sarr. He had 15.7 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. A lot of people were saying Sarr did not want to go to the Hawks before the draft, so he made his way to the Wizards, and they're like, he's still stuck with Trae Young because Trae's coming to Washington. But Trae is going to be the best thing that ever happened to Alex Sarr. Whether he knows it or not, he will. Bub Carrington with 18 points, 7 assists, but 6 turnovers. Bilal Coulibaly, 18 points, not much else. Trey Johnson, 20 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. Bilal Coulibaly, we talked about All-Star Thompson in the last game. Bilal needs to be more like All-Star Thompson. That's kind of what we expected. More rebounds, more blocks, more steals. But he's really just becoming a points player this year, and that's not the Bilal that we expected. At least I didn't. Off the bench, Marvin Bagley had 9 and 9 with a block, so that was very useful production right there. Malachi Branham, 8 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, tremendous, and a block. And I'm really a big fan of Malachi Branham when he came out of college. I hope he gets more opportunity. He played 31 minutes tonight. It was a blowout, but he showed some things. A.J. Johnson even got in the game, 6 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. For the Sixers, Paul George had a nice game, 23 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. That's what we want to see. We've seen Paul struggling thus far this season, trying to get acclimated to being back in the NBA and recovering from injury. And this one was a great sign. Dominique Barlow started 11 and 6. Embiid is back again, 28 and 7 with 2 assists and 2 blocks. Tyrese Maxey, 22 and 8 assists with 2 steals and a block. BJ Ashcombe, whoa, wait till you hear this stat line. This is just nice. The points were only 13, but 6 boards, 7 assists, 5 steals. That's insanity. Just great production in 3 categories, not including shooting, is great. He only shot 1 for 6 from 3. So if he would have hit a couple threes, this would have been one of the games of the night. He ain't gonna top Shea, but it would have been really nice. Off the bench, Andre Drummond, 11 and 4 with 2 steals and a block. And Quentin Grimes, 16 points, 2 steals. And they just about played everybody. Next game, the Nuggets defeated the Celtics 114-110. Daron Holmes started again, and it's just been a struggle for him thus far. We see why he has not been playing, because it's not been going so well. 6 points. He started in 13 minutes, had 2 blocks, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. I'm not sure if he got hurt at this point, but last game the minutes were low as well and not very productive. Spencer Jones did get hurt. He banged himself up, so his stats were not there. Only played 9 minutes. But Jamal Murray, he went off tonight. 22 points, 8 boards, 17 assists with a steal. 17 assists, that's old school numbers like John Stockton. So that's what you love to see. Almost had a triple-double. Great game by Jamal Murray. He should definitely be an all-star this year. Christian Brown was back, not effective at all. 5 points, 5 boards, and a block. Peyton Watson back again with another huge performance. 30 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Peyton Watson is on a mission. If he's on your waiver wire, you have to consider adding him because, like I mentioned, Spencer Jones been starting. He just got hurt. Aaron Gordon played tonight. Christian Brown played tonight. So it's not a matter of them not being there. Peyton Watson is just on a bit of a streak right now. But speaking of Aaron Gordon, 12.6 boards in 23 minutes. You'll take it. He's ramping back up. Zeke Naji, 12 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Tim Hardaway, 14 points, a steal, and a block. For the Celtics, Derek White, 17, 4, 4, and 3 blocks. Jaylen Brown back from the slump of last game, 33.7 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. Unfortunately, he had 7 turnovers. Can't have that, but great game otherwise. Peyton Pritchard, 17 and 5 with 2 steals. Kata started 6 points, but 20 rebounds. Need me, yes, Kata. That's going to win you some leagues right there, but no blocks, unfortunately. And Sam Hauser, 6 points, 2 steals, and a block. Off the bench, Luka Garza, 11 and 5, and Anthony Simons, 15, 4, and 2. Next game, we had the Hawks defeat the Pels, 117 to 100. Zion back in the starting lineup, 22, 8, and 6 with a steal. Carlo Matkovic started, didn't do much. Derek Queen, 6 and 10 with 2 steals and 2 blocks, 3 for 9 from the field. So only 19 minutes as well. Got to work on that. Was he in foul trouble? No, only 1 foul. So that was a weird game for Derek Queen. Jordan Poole, 21 points, 3 steals. You love to see that. Jeremiah Fears, 11 points, a steal and a block, 4 boards, 3 assists, 3 for 11 from the field. So he's got to work on his field goal percentage for sure. Michael Peavy, 11, 5, and 6 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Tremendous game off the bench in 29 minutes. Bryce McGowan's 20 points, 2 boards, and a steal off the bench in 37 minutes. Great game by Bryce McGowan as well. And I was high on him coming out of college. Not really been given much of opportunity. He's playing some nice minutes for the Pels. For the Hawks, team of the night, traded Trae Young. Jalen Johnson, 19 and 8 with 5 assists and a block. He is the face of the franchise right now. Muhammad Gay started double-double, 10 and 11 with 4 steals and 2 blocks. That's tremendous. If he wouldn't have went 3 for 10 from the field, he would have been even nicer. Zachary Ricochet with 25 and 8 with a block. Nikhil Alexander Walker, 17, 6, and 6 with 3 steals and 2 blocks. You love his production. Dyson Daniels, 13, 8, and 8 with 3 steals and a block. These Hawks showed out tonight. And Trae was at the game, by the way. He left at halftime once he was told he was traded. Got to say bye to his teammates. So that's what went down with that. Porzingis, 13 points and steal and a block. And Luke Kennard, 13 points, steal and a block. And if you're not aware, you listen to the box score breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. You're listening on the NBA Fantasy Today podcast. Don't worry, Brew and Doc will be back with the next episode of their show. And until then, if you're loving this box score breakdown, give us a like, subscribe, follow. Check us out on Twitter and X and YouTube. And I'm at William is Bill, and I'm trying not to lose my voice. All right, next game. 3, Paolo, huge game. 30 points, 6 assists, 14 rebounds. Great game. 11 for 19 from the field, 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Nothing to complain about in this one. Tristan DeSilva, 14 points and a steal. Wendell Carter Jr., 20 and 6 with a steal and a block. Desmond Bane, 9 points, 2 steals. Anthony Black finally had a lower game tonight, only 2 for 11 from the field. But he's been on a heater, but he had 5 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Off the bench, Noah Penda with a nice double-double, 13 and 11 with a steal and 2 blocks. Michael Porter Jr. went off for the Nets, 34 points, 5 boards, and 3 steals. Igor Joman. I want to just call him Igor Demon, but Igor Joman, 18 points, 5 and 5 with a steal and a block. Really nice game. No one else that started was worth noting. But Cam Thomas off the bench with 10, 5, and 4 with the block. Bad game for the Nets. It's surprising they only lost by 1 point. For the next game, the Knicks defeated the Clippers 123-111. Kawhi with 25 and 3 steals. John Collins, he's really stepped it up lately, 18 and 10 with the steal. Zubac 22 and 11 with 2 blocks. James Harden with 23 and 9 assists. You got to love that with the steal also. And off the bench, no one was effective at all. I mean, literally, it was terrible bench production. You see why they lost. For the Knicks, huge bounce back game. When I was last on recapping Monday's show, the Knicks dropped the ball. Players did terribly. They definitely bounced back against the Clippers. OG had 20 points and a steal. Cat 20 and 11 with 7 assists, a steal and a block, all around dominance. Mikal Bridges 15, 9 and 5 with a steal and a block. Brunson 26, 7 assists. Miles McBride started again, 16 and 4 assists with a steal and a block. Jordan Clarkson with 12 off the bench. And that's about it. Everyone played for the Knicks, but no one else really was worth noting. Next game, the Suns defeated the Grizz 117-98. For the Suns, Mark Williams 12 and 12 with a steal and a block. Dylan Brooks 21 and 7. Devin Booker with a down scoring game in 31 minutes, only 13 points, but had 8 assists and 2 steals. And they still got the victory, so that lets you know the team is playing much better and the Grizz are that bad, I guess. Colin Gillespie 10 and 8 with a steal. Royce O'Neal 12 and 6 with 2 steals and a block. Off the bench, Grayson Allen with 19 points and Jordan Goodwin with 11, 8, and 6 with 2 steals. So that's still a great game by him. For the Grizz, no John Morant steal, but Jaren Jackson Jr. 19 and 4 with a steal and a block. Gigi Jackson got to start, 11 points, 5 boards, 3 steals. Jalen Wells and Jock Landale both did not much at all, but I'll say Wells had 9 and 7, but we expect a little bit more. Cam Spencer, 14 and 5 assists with 2 steals. KCP, 14 points. Santi Aldama was questionable. It seemed like he was not going to play, but he played 22 minutes, had 7 points. And Javon Small, the rookie, with 14 and 7 assists. Really nice production right there. Next game, the Thunder defeated the Jazz 129-125. Lauri Markkanen, 29 and 13 with a steal. Great. Bryce Sensabaugh started, 13 points, 5 boards. Nurk is 15 and 15 with 3 steals and a block. Those old school numbers. Savi, 8 and 7 and 6. Great game for him. Keontae, 25, 7 and 11 assists. He did have 6 turnovers, but he also had a steal. Off the bench, only Walter Clayton was in double figures with 15, 6, and 4 with a block. Really nice game by Walter. For OKC, Chet Holmgren, 23 and 12 with a steal and 3 blocks. SGA with 46, 6, and 6 with a steal and a block. That's right, 46 points for the MVP. And he will be MVP again, more than likely, as long as he stays healthy. Tremendous game, 14 for 26 from the field. And it would have been even better, but he missed just about all his threes. 1 for 8 from 3. Everything else was great. So, I mean, he definitely should have had over 50. He had a couple more threes. Dorton Wiggins, 6 and 6 and 7 and 7. Wiggins had 2 blocks. And off the bench, AJ Mitchell, 16 and 5 assists with 3 steals and a block. Next game, the Spurs blew out the Lakers 107-91. No LeBron in this one. Luka played. No Austin Reeves as well, as we know. Jake LaRavia, 16 and 7 with a steal. DeAndre Ayton, 9 and 6 with the block. You got to do better than that, Ayton, when you don't have LeBron or Reeves. But I don't know. Marcus Smart, 7 boards, 3 steals. You have Marcus Smart for the steals and the rebounds. He did both. I see Maxi Kleber down here. That's just, I'm not used to seeing that. Normally he's just not active. And it's like, oh yeah, he is with the Lakers. It's hard to remember. But 12 minutes, didn't do anything, had a steal. But He may get minutes later in the season. Jackson Hayes, 10 and 7. Everyone played on this team. Not everyone was productive. For the Spurs, no Wembanyama, but they still got it done. Harrison Barnes, 7 and 6. Champagnie, 11 and 9. Cornette, 7 and 6 with 2 steals. De'Aaron Fox, 14, 5 and 3 with a steal. Stephon Castle, 15, 5, 4, 2 steals and a block. Somebody is missing. Oh, yeah. Dylan Harper. No, he played 20 minutes off the bench, but he had a terrible game. I'm not even going to say his numbers. It was that bad. And excuse me, Wembanyama did play. He just didn't start. It's weird not seeing him in the starting lineup, but they've been doing this for a couple games. Having him on a minutes restriction, 26 minutes, has 16 and 14 with a steal. 2 steals and 4 blocks. So Wembanyama still is very productive in limited minutes. That's just what it is. Keldon Johnson, 27 and 6, as the Spurs put a beat down on the Lakers. Next game, the Warriors defeat the Bucks. Giannis, though, had 34 and 10, and they won 120 to 113. 34 and 10 with 5 assists. That's just prime Giannis. That's what you love to see. It's just coming at a losing effort. Miles Turner, 13 points and a block. KPJ, 15 and 9 with 1 block. AJ Green, 11 points, 3 threes. Ryan Rollins, 16 and 7 with 4 assists, a steal and a block. Kuzma off the bench with 13 and a block. For the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, 31 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. Jimmy Butler, 21 and 5 with a steal. Draymond, 14 and 7 assists with a steal. Quentin Post started, had 11 points. Moses Moody started, 9 points and a steal. Off the bench, DeAnthony Melton, 22 points, not much else. I just hope he stays healthy. It's hard for him to see the court. He did have a steal, did have 3 boards. And for the last and final game, we have the Blazers versus the Rockets. Blazers, it's no time on the clock, but it just ended. So I'm saying the Blazers won 103 to 102, unless there's some type of point-something seconds in the foul and someone's at the free throw line. But I'm recording this just as it's ending. Durant with 37 points and a block. Jabari Smith, 6 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and a steal. And this is a game, remember, Sengun got hurt. He's out at least a week. Jabari Smith should have stepped it up and played much better than this. He did not tonight. Hopefully he will next game. Tari Eason, 15 and 13 with a steal and a block. I would have expected that from Jabari, but I guess Easton was more of the big. Jabari was more of the 3-4. No, Steven Adams started. He has 7 and 11 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. This got to be the tallest lineup in the NBA. I mean, no one's smaller than 6'5". Amen Thompson, 24 and 12 with 6 assists, a steal and 2 blocks. And off the bench, Reed Shepherd, 8 points and a steal. For the Blazers, Tumani had 14 and 6 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Denny Advia, 41 points. On any other night, he would have been the top dog, but Shea got 46. So, or 48, however much it was. But Avia, 41 and 6 with a steal. Donovan Clingan, 12 and 7 with a block. Shaden Sharp, 20 points, 3 boards, 1 steal. City Sissoko started but didn't do anything. Caleb Love with 10 points, 7 boards, 4 assists. And there you go. All right, that was a huge 12-game recap. Let's go over the players of the night. RJ Barrett, 28 and 7. Amen Thompson, 24, 12 and 6. Denny Avia, 41 and 6. Vucevic, 20 and 16. Isaiah Stewart, 31. Trey Johnson, 20. Embiid, 28 and 7. Jamal Murray, 22, 8 and 17. Jaylen Brown, 33 and 7. Zion Williamson, 22 and 8 with 6 assists. Risha Shea, 25 and 8. Paulo Banchero, 30, 14 and 6. MPJ, Michael Porter Jr., 34 and 3. Zubac, 22 and 11. Brunson, 26 and 7. Dylan Brooks 21-7. Markkanen 29-13. SGA 46-6-6. Luka 38-10-10 with a triple double. I don't even know if I mentioned his stats in his game. I might have breezed by Luka, but 38-10-10, excellent job. And Steph Curry with 31-6-7. And I mentioned Giannis 34-10. So I just want to thank you all so much for listening to the box score breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. We are 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. You have any comments? Of course, we can hit them up live during the show. At the end of the show, you can message us on or just add us on Twitter or YouTube or at Ethos Fantasy NBA. We appreciate truly each and every one for you for watching, listening, being engaged, and we're going to keep giving you content. Once again, Trae Young was traded. That was truly the news of the day. Overshadowed Shai's 46-point game. But we want to know how you feel about it. For fantasy-wise, it's not going to do much for anyone, really. I mean, the Hawks will probably be more the same. CJ McCollum will probably be more the same. Bub Carrington may see less minutes, but I'm sure they're going to still start Keyshawn George and Trey Johnson. And the Wizards are just going to be a better team overall. So we have that to look forward to. Check out Doc and Brew. They're coming up next, and they're going to have more in-depth detail for you guys about it. So until next time, appreciate you. Have a good one. Stay safe. I'm out of here. Peace.